Hello again everybody, welcome back to Rogan at Home. So like usual, we prepared our 3-course meal kit for you. Super simple, lots of fun. Let's go through it step by step. So for the start of this week, we prepared a local squash soup. And to go with that, of course, we have our signature soda bread, which we'll reheat now. So in the meal kit, you'll find our brown butter. Make sure you remove this from the fridge half an hour before serving. And also our signature soda bread. Just going to place it into that oven that's set at 180 degrees and it will take about 5 to 8 minutes. So this is our soup box. Let's take a look inside. So inside our box, we have our local squash soup, then we have our seed pesto and Lincolnshire poacher cheese sauce. So 30 minutes before your starter, just make sure you remove the pumpkin seed pesto and the cheese sauce from the fridge and then just pour the contents of the soup into a pan and bring up to the boil slowly. Next, we'll put our cheese sauce. Again, you can be creative, do this as you wish. And then next, we'll put our seed pesto. So that's our starter, local squash soup with seed pesto and cheese sauce. So for the main course this week, we have slow cooked local pork belly. So let's take a look inside the box. So in our main course box, we have our local pork belly, a new Territories beetroot and chard. We also have our black garlic puree, and then lastly, our pork sauce. So our first stage, we're going to reheat the pork and the beetroot. The pork's already been cooked very slowly for 36 hours. So all you need to do is just lightly crisp it in the pan and then warm it back in the oven. So for reheating the pork belly, we'll get the pan nice and hot, just a tiny bit of oil, and then just place your pork belly into the pan. Just be very careful. We're going to get it nice and crispy all over. And then also we'll place our salt-baked beetroot onto the baking tray. And then we'll place it into our oven at 180 degrees. And this should only take about 5 to 8 minutes. And while that's heating up, let's finish off our garnish. So our next stage, while the pork is heating up, is to reheat our chard using the butter provided. We're going to very lightly cook that in a pan. And also, we're going to reheat the sauce. So we'll place the butter into the pan. And next stage, we'll just place our chard into the pan. You just want to very gently heat it, not to overcook. And then lastly, we're just going to reheat the sauce. So our main course this week, local pork belly, served with new Territories chard and beetroot, black garlic and pork sauce. So for our dessert course this week, we have a rum and raisin pudding with some caramelised pineapple and a spiced palm sugar and rum toffee sauce. So for the pudding, we're just going to caramelise it in a pan. You can do this in oil if you have it, but even better, you have some butter. It's nice to do it in a little bit of butter. And we're just going to place it into our oven. Again, set at 180 degrees, and it should only take about 5 minutes. So next we need to heat up our toffee sauce. Just be careful you don't heat it up too quickly because you don't want the toffee sauce to split. So when you're satisfied with your temperature of all the ingredients, we're ready to plate. So that's our dessert this week. We have our rum and raisin pudding with caramelised pineapple and a spiced palm sugar toffee sauce. So thank you very much for purchasing this week's 3-course meal kit. I hope you had lots of fun. It features a lot of local produce, the pork, the chard, the beetroot, also the squash soup as well. So happy cooking, stay safe, see you next week.